Headline here says Bill Clinton honoree thrown in jail over, quote, biggest clean energy scam in American history. Got several outlets, some mainstream outlets also surprisingly talking about this as well. This was a pretty big Ponzi scheme. It's been described as. Co-founder of bogus green energy firm gets jail time for $54 million Ponzi scheme. And this corporation was promoted by Bill Clinton and the Clinton Global Initiative. And even NBC surprisingly pointing out that the Clinton Foundation still, to this day, as of recording this on April 8th, 2019, today, the second head of this corporation has also been thrown in jail. Yet, for some reason, the Clinton Foundation still has a link on their website talking about the commitment made by the Mantria Corporation, who perpetrated this whole fraud, this investment fraud. Clinton Foundation is still praising them on their website, Clinton Global Initiative. This is from NBC saying one of the largest international foundations, Clinton Global Initiative, and run by Bill and Hillary Clinton, still has a link on its website about the commitment by the Mantria Corporation. Back in 2009, that was 2 months before the Securities Exchange Commission charged Mantria with unlicensed securities related to its green energy investments. So just 2 months before those charges, Reg was one of the co-founders of Mantria, the corporation at the center of this whole fraud, this huge scheme. 2 months before the charges, Bill Clinton was on stage with one of their co-founders, took stage with one of the co-founders with former President Clinton in New York City at an event for the Clinton Global Initiative. That's a picture from the event. And again, the Clinton Foundation's actual website, even today, this is the second person now jailed. Meanwhile, the Clinton Foundation's website is still praising the Mantria Corporation. You can still see this on the Clinton Foundation's website saying in 2009, Mantria Corporation committed to help mitigate global warming through the use of their carbon field site, where Mantria will perform trials to prove how biochar, this is the technology that is at the center of the whole scheme that this corporation was pushing. This biochar technology is a complete fraud, and the Clinton Foundation is still promoting the company and this biochar technology, carbon-rich soil amendment, which they claimed can sequester greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. Once fully proven in Tennessee, Mantria Corporation plans to take this technology to developing nations such as the Ivory Coast and the Congo, enhancing soil fertility and producing crops while simultaneously offsetting carbon emissions. Participating countries will benefit from decentralized waste management, energy production, and useful bioproducts that are produced in the making of biochar. That's one page. They have at least 2 pages still on the Clinton Foundation's website. Another one here, again, talking about that technology, saying that the Mantria Corporation is committed to work with the Clinton Foundation. This is what they're saying now about this company. So these charges have been developing for some time. News Today is saying that one of 3 scam artists behind a $54 million Ponzi scheme was sentenced to prison for her role in the biggest green energy scam in U.S. history. According to NBC New York, 35-year-old Amanda Knorr, Pennsylvania, received just 30 months in federal prison for a Ponzi scheme involved in her startup. This scheme began in 2005. And ran through to 2009, which was the year that this corporation was promoted by the Clinton Foundation, and Bill Clinton appeared at that event with them in 2009. They were still running the scheme up until that year. Mantria, in which they say, according to the courts, they say many people lost their life savings, according to Assistant U.S. Attorney involved in Norris' sentencing. Quote here from NBC originally reads, Nor co-founded a company called Mantria Corporation, which with the help of a slick-talking Colorado wealth advisor, raised millions for a supposed clean energy product called biochar. So that's the one that the Clinton Foundation still to this day on their website, you can see them praising this technology as some kind of revolutionary thing that's being developed by Mantria. Meanwhile, they're saying that this supposed clean energy product called biochar, Nor and fellow Mantria co-founder Troy Ragg both graduated in 2005 from Temple University, and within 4 years had raised $54 million from hundreds of investors. Most of the investors were wooed through seminars run by Wade McKelvey of Colorado. They say their pitch about producing biochar, however, turned out to be completely baked. Their whole pitch about this technology that the Clinton Foundation was promoting, completely made up, according to prosecutors, and eventually proved to be a giant Ponzi scheme. They weren't even really developing this technology. They weren't even close to achieving any of these claims that they made about producing biochar. According to federal prosecutors, Mantria never came close to producing biochar at all at their Tennessee facility. That's the facility that the Clinton Foundation is saying this great research is taking place at. Meanwhile, they say they never came close to developing the technology. McKelvey was convicted back in October on charges of wire fraud and securities fraud and is currently appealing his conviction. Ragg's sentencing is set for June. These seminars were run by McKelvey in Colorado. Investors were given a very different story as far as the development of this technology. They said these investors, retirees looking to invest their savings, and other small-time prospectors were wooed by the idea of big profits from clean energy, getting rich and saving the world, is what the company claimed they were doing. Quote, instead of high returns, the over 300 victims of this fraud unwittingly invested in uninhabitable land and a bogus trash to green energy business idea based on bogus scientific methodology, said U.S. Attorney William McSwain last October during McKelvey's conviction. Fraudsters were honored by former President Bill Clinton in a 2009 ceremony for the Clinton Global Initiative before the scam came to light. Again, it's only 2 months before the actual charges, so have to wonder why didn't or did possibly Clinton. Sure, people would suspect that maybe Clinton did already know something at that point about this company and what they were doing. It was just 2 months before the actual charges. After Mantria was first charged by the Securities and Exchange Commission for selling up millions in unlicensed securities in 2009, the case was known as the biggest green scam in the history of the United States, according to a report. Of the $54 million thought to have been invested, just closing off here, they say in Mantria, of the $54 million in total invested in the company, $17 million was returned to early investors to keep the Ponzi scheme going while misleading new investors, they said, into thinking the venture was hugely profitable. By the time they were shut down by the SEC in 2009, Mantria had just $790,000 remaining of the remaining $37 million. Let me know what you think about this so far. I guess we'll keep an eye on the Clinton Foundation's website and see if they have any kind of acknowledgement of these charges, of this jail time. It's been brought today, still ongoing. Some of these other related cases with other people involved in the company, look at those developments too. But the Clinton Foundation should at the very least probably remove these multiple pages saying that this is a great company, given that all of this is being exposed. Let me know what you think. I do have a link to my Patreon and PayPal accounts in the video description as well. You can support the channel through there. I will follow up as new developments come out. Tell me what you think. Thank you.